Hey there guys, this is Jeffrey. I have not done a video in, I don't know how long it's been, almost, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months. I kind of lost motivation, if I'm being honest, to do videos, but I really do want to get back into it because the only thing I didn't like was the editing, but actually, you know, in the process of making the videos, it was really fun. So yeah. I'm gonna stop there so I don't get into like the weird stuff, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, what this video is gonna be about is Spider-Man PS4 actually. I noticed tons of Easter eggs and stuff because obviously there's tons of Easter eggs to find in this game. Because Insomniac's trying to set up stuff for future Spider-Man games, and then they're probably also trying to do like you know, set up like a full universe maybe, because we do know that that Square Enix is planning on doing an Avengers game. I don't know if that's going to be connected to this, but whatever. Yeah, let's get into it. So I'm going to start with some of like the really hard to find stuff first, because personally I think that's some of the coolest stuff. So first I really want to talk about like the collections and stuff, because there's tons of really cool stuff to find there. I will point out that I have not collected all the backpacks, but I'm going to try to find as much in this video as I can, go through all that stuff. But this is personally one of the coolest ones, because there's a couple really cool things to find on here. So what this is there's actually a little bit of dialogue to this backpack, where he's saying that this was a good luck card he got from the Daily Bugle whenever he left to go do investigation. So it's signed by people that he worked with. So obviously, first and foremost, you can see J. Jonah Jameson. That's the biggest one. He's not really an Easter egg because he's throughout the game everywhere. But the other one that stands out to me the most is towards the top. There's two signatures at the top. One of those is actually Eddie Brock. So for those of you who don't know, Eddie Brock is actually the original Venom in the comic books. There's been plenty of other people that have been Venom, but he's the most notable. And so you've also got just below the J. Jonah Jameson signature, there's Betty Brant, which I thought was really cool because she's also kind of somewhat I say of a key role to Spider-Man in the comic books, depending on what you're reading, I guess. But yeah, I thought this card was pretty cool. The next collectible is this is actually a fragment of Mysterio's helmet. So he said that, like, Spider-Man says that, like, he used this to work on technology, and it gave him the idea for, like, his eyes in the suit or whatever. So I thought that was pretty cool, because they're setting up Mysterio here for future games maybe. And so I will show you, there's a comic book.
Made this comic about me. Kid's got a future.
Yep, yeah, but there's this comic book right here that this kid drew that he collected, and you can see Mysterio there on the front. So yeah, he's obviously Spider-Man's obviously fought Mysterio in this universe before. And then there's Rhino right there, which I don't know if you're supposed to guess who that is, but that's obviously Rhino, but whatever. So then this one is actually this is Kurt Connor's blood, or the Lizard's blood. So he says that he has previously fought the Lizard, and then like he got a sample of his blood and was able to make a cure. And then he's like, yeah, I didn't last for that long. So yeah, maybe this is a hint at the Lizard being in a possible future game, because if this is going to be anything like the Batman trilogy, it's gonna be a trilogy if it's anything like those games. I mean, it was more like a quadrilogy, but I didn't really care for the Arkham Origins game, so I don't like to think of that as part of the universe, but I mean, it technically is. But as I see it, they'll probably do a trilogy, because this game was too much of a success. But yeah, I'd like to see the Lizard in a future installment, even if it's not Kurt Connors, which, I mean, I'd like it to be, but whatever. So then right here we've got it's like a vial of sand, and then he says that that opening it will probably release the Sandman. So yeah, that also shows that Sandman could be in a future game, which would also be really cool. But yeah, there's just such potential for all the different things they could do with villains in this universe, which is why I'm excited for future installments and into this series. So then here's another like, this is probably my personal favorite collection in of all the backpacks or whatever. This is actually a Nelson and Murdoch card. So if you guys don't know what that is, which I'd assume you probably do, Nelson and Murdoch is actually the lawyer, the law firm that Matt Murdock works for, or that he actually created, I should say, with his friend Foggy Nelson. But Matt Murdock is the Daredevil, and so then when he's not Daredevil, he's Matt Murdock, attorney at law. So I thought this was pretty cool. And then he's blind, so you've got the yeah, we'll cut that part. Cut the he's blind part, but yeah, and then he throws in a Spider-Man says something about like, yeah, he's blind, so like, how did he know I was or like, how could he tell I was Spider-Man if he's blind? And then he has a moment of realization there, I guess. But this is just really cool because it hints at, or it doesn't hint, but like tells us that Matt Murdock, the Daredevil, is in this particular universe, which I wish we could have had like some sort of encounter with him in the game. But again, I kind of feel like this game was, they made it and then they throw in some of this extra stuff and they're going to see what we think about it and then maybe use that as a thing in the other games. So here's the last collection I'm going to show you guys. But this is like a rejected comic design idea thing. You can actually see quite a few things on here, and I guess I'll put like an arrow pointing to it up on the screen. You can see one kind of over on the right hand side, like middle right hand side, that has a big X over it, or not big, you know what I mean, that has an X over it. I can't tell, that kind of looks like Deadpool, kind of looks like Prowler. Maybe not Deadpool because it's got like the pointed eyes, but it kind of looks like the Prowler, if you ask me. So I don't know if that hints at like the Prowler or what. I think that'd be a really cool idea because we do have Miles Morales in this universe. But that, I think that'd be pretty cool to see the Prowler, because as I said before, there's so much potential for all the things they could do with these games, and they could just throw the Prowler in there as a threat to Miles Morales being Spider-Man, because I'm almost positive we'll see him as Spider-Man in the next game. But you've also got some other really cool designs, like or not really cool, depends on which one you're looking at, I guess. Like there's up towards like the upper right, you kind of got one that looks like Gwenpool. I mean, I know they're not going for Gwenpool, but that's kind of what it reminds me of, because it's like his mouth is showing, but the rest is covered up with the mask. I don't know. And then if you look around some more, there's tons of different spider designs for what he was planning on doing with his logo. And then you've got like some things that say like SM, like he was planning on his logo being an S and an M. So, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so I did say the last one was probably the last one, but I forgot that I had this. This is the spider signal. So we actually do get to see this in Spider-Man Homecoming, if you stay for the or not Spider-Man Homecoming, Captain America Civil War. The end credit scene, he gets the spider signal with his suit that Tony Stark created for him, and then he also has the spider signal in the comic books at some point, I believe. So yeah, this is a pretty cool nod to the comic books and Captain America Civil War. But yeah, I thought this one was really cool too. Okay, so I'm just going to stop saying it. This is the last one. I'm going to stop using that phrase because I'm still showing you my collection. This is actually a flyer for the Crusher Hogan, which back whenever Peter Parker first got his powers, you probably remember from obviously the comic books, but then the Sam Raimi movies as well. They show us how he was a wrestler at the beginning of his career, and he actually beat this particular wrestler. So yeah, I thought this was pretty cool, and this is like a throwback to Pete's wrestling days before he was Spider-Man. So I actually found tons of different locations and stuff in the game too. So here is the Sanctum Sanctorum, which is where Doctor Strange operates and works from to save the world. This is where the Avengers operate from to save the world. It's actually kind of a hard building to miss. It's one of the biggest buildings of the game. This is the Wakandan Embassy, which is where Black Panther and his country operate within New York. This is Fogwell's Gym, which is where Matt Murdock's father trained because he was a boxer. This is Tricorp, which is another villain industry in the comic books. And then here, this one is Damage Control. It's actually the team that cleans up all the damage superheroes do when they're done battling. This is Josie's Bar, which is where we see the characters from the Daredevil TV show drinking. And then here is Rand Corp, which is where Iron Fist's father has created his company. So yeah, that's basically what I've noticed in Spider-Man PS4. Yeah, let me know in the comments if I forgot anything, which I think I've covered pretty much everything, but I probably forgot something. Just let me know, because I'd be really interested to know what I didn't get. But yeah, so consider dropping a like on the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. It'd help me out a lot. And like I said, comment what you think, and make sure to subscribe, because that'll also help me out a lot. And that's all I'm going to say. I'll see you guys in the next one.